In today's video we're checking out this. It's the Ryobi Trim Router, and again it's part of the 18 volt 1 Plus range. Okay, so I've got a project that I need to finish which needs the trim router to be used, so I thought I'd unbox it and kind of show you what's in there, and then hopefully demonstrate an example of how it can be used for some leveling that I need to do on a cutout on the decking. So this is the item in question, so a 1/4 inch trim router. So you can use this with a 2 milliamp hour battery and above, and they kind of, it's weird, they don't kind of talk about it in time, more in length. So with a 2 milliamp battery you should be able to do about 2 meters worth of routing type activities, and with a 5 amp around 22 meters. So we've only got a small area, but I'm going to use my 4 milliamp battery. So yeah, let's have a look what we've got inside. So like most of these items, these are the body only, so they already have existing batteries. They all come with about, well, they do come with 3-year warranty. This particular item weighs about 1.3 kilograms, and you basically have a variance. There's various adjustments that we'll look at when we get the box open, but you can adjust it from 0 to 38 millimeters. So in the box, let's have a little look what we have. So we have one of the guards here, which we'll just put down on the table for now. We have a few little wing nut accessories that are used for adjusting and clamping things down. Some sort of, I'm not sure what that is, like a gasket of some sort. I think I might have to RTFM with this one. And here's one router bit in there, so yeah, let's see what else we have. Okie dokie. So put the box to one side. So here is the router itself. So typical packaging from Ryobi, comes in a plastic bag for some transport protection. And let's take this little doodad off. So we can see on here it says 0 to 29,000 RPM, 1.3 kilograms, some level adjustment from 6 mm to 6.35 millimeters, not sure that's all about, and it does have LED light to light up the area that you're kind of working on. So come a little bit closer. So these are the options we have for adjustment. So you can see there's a little dial here that we can change that provides some level of adjustment. Then we have this clamp on the front here that we can open up, and then again use this. I think you're pushing this little button here, we can enable us to move up and down. We know a little bit more once we get things plugged in and use it. And then there's also some tools in the box that we use obviously for putting the bits in, etc. But you can see here, just up there is where the little LED light is, so that helps light up the area that you're working on. So, safety warning manuals as usual, bit of a marketing bump for all the different tools that work with the 18 volt 1 Plus system, and then some operating instructions. Now I personally will have a quick look at this because I only ever have used one router before that was gifted to me, so I'm not super familiar with router usage, so that's why I think it's helpful to see what's in the box and how we can set it up for the first time. Right, to put the manual to one side, and then see what else is in here. So we have couple of kind of black rods of some sort. I think they must be. So I think if you end up using this on some sort of sliding rail, that's what these are for. They will go in to the side here, and then you can have it on like a sliding mount, so you can be a bit more accurate with your cuts. And then basically a little spanner that we use to be able to take the router bit in and out. That's it. So let me kind of check where things are on the manual, and just to show you again, so it only comes with one router bit, and on it it says 009-00260-13027-2518DR. Doesn't really mean much to me, but that's basically the bit that we have here. Let me just see if we can get this to focus. Okay, so there's one bit comes with this, so obviously if you want to have more versatility on the type of routing you're going to do, you're going to want to have to buy some different bits for the different jobs that you're doing. Okay, so I'm just getting ready to set up, and I just thought about it actually when looking at this little label again. That's 6 to 6.35 mil. That must be the shank diameter options that you have. So when you're looking at the router bits, that's my assumption. If you probably know better than me, so please leave a comment down below so other people can make sure that we know what we're doing. So I'm just going to have a little look in the operating manual, make sure there's not anything obvious that I'm missing, and then we can get the 4 amp hour battery installed and see how it performs. Okay, so things are starting to make a bit more sense. So as mentioned, this little, I don't really know the proper word for it. I want to say collet, but I don't know if that's right. But this is a 6mm one, and basically inside already is the 6.35mm one. So you basically need to keep this somewhere safe so you can change it out depending on the diameter of the router bit that you're using. So I will make sure I find somewhere safe. I think I'll probably use one of my Ryobi bags specifically for this to keep the tools and everything in, but I'll just pop it there for now. And then, yeah, this is all for clamping it onto some guide that we kind of mentioned before. So you basically get this metal piece that comes with it. The kind of clampy side is where you're going to want to have these metal shafts with the thread go on through, and then basically we need to grab this other little bag that we had from earlier. It's got these little wing nuts in, and we're going to pop those on the side. So again, I'm not going to actually be using this because I don't have something to clamp it to, but just to show you for completeness. So again, they go in here. Just pop this in the side here and do this up. So we're learning together on the channel. Okay. Just like so. And so again, you'd affix this to something. So you could obviously either use this on the side piece of a wood if it was level, or on some sort of guide, and then you can basically thread this in to here and it'll all be kind of locked securely in place. So, makes sense if that's what you need to be doing, especially for accurate cuts. I guess probably, corner trim, and if you're not too comfortable that you can keep yourself kind of straight and steady as you're going around, it's pretty helpful to have something like this. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is put our router bit into the router. So we're going to use the spanner that comes with it, and we're going to basically do a couple of things. Put the spanner obviously onto the trim kind of hex bolt, and we're going to push and hold this button all the way in, which locks it in place, which then enables us to be able to undo and do up, to be able to swap things over. So I hope you can see it's very much depressed to get it into that locked stage. Once you've got this off, inside is where you're going to have that thing. I keep it collet again, but so inside by default I've got the 6.35mm collet in there. So again, you just need to make sure that you are using the right one for the bit size. Now I probably should put some gloves on, so I'm just going to be really careful for now, but we're just basically going to poke this up into here. Make sure we have a nice firm fitting, and then we can adjust it and put it back into the router. So let's just make sure that's good. And I can start off just doing it by hand, just again being careful. So offer it back up to the hole. Make sure this is nice and in here. You can see I just pushed it all the way, and then slowly do it back up again, and then once it starts to kind of spin easily, that's when we need to use the locking mechanism again to kind of firm things up like it's doing now. So again, if you worked with a router before, you'll know that they're a bit fiddly. Obviously now there's something in there, it doesn't kind of push in as far as it did. This feels a little bit looser. We just want to make sure that that's nice and tight so we don't have a bit accident before. But you can see how much that is protruding right now. So then basically we just want to make sure we adjust things. So we can open up this clamp here, and that enables us to a lot easier kind of move up and down. So once this clamp is opened, we can push here and it relieves tension on that bit. So we can just easily move this up and down for kind of more aggressive changes. Then when we pop it back, it's when we have the fine adjustment with the nozzle, with the kind of movable little adjustment at the top. And we can see here we have a guide on the side, which is just an indication of kind of our measurements. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is basically trying to use the router to make the right kind of depth of hole to put this kind of decking piece in. So basically what I can do is I can use this to know how deep it is that I'm trying to go, and then kind of set that up so we have things at the right depth. So let me just get this going here. So again, pop the clamp open, just pop this on the side here, and then just easily push this down, 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 down. Okay, a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of where I want it, and then just a bit of minor adjustment to get it up a little bit. We will get there. So hope you can see that that's about the depth I'm going to be trying to get this to cut down to. So once that's done, gonna grab some gloves and some glasses, and basically you want to work in a clockwise kind of motion when we're going to be trying to trim out this hole with the router. Okay, so put the battery in place, and the basically on and off switch is here at the bottom. When you're using it, you want to basically hold it kind of firmly around the back. You don't need to apply any pressure from the top. I'll just pop this on quickly, and obviously you won't be able to see it rotating, but you'll be able to see the LED light that we have. So you can see what it is that you're working on, so you don't screw it up, hopefully. So right, I'm gonna again grab these gloves and some safety glasses, and then we will head outside and see if we get the results that we're looking for. Right, safety first, goggles are on, and of course, I mean, this video is in the Ryobi series, so we have some Ryobi gloves that we can use to get things set up. So I'm going to find a drill bit that I can just make a starting position in the decking, and then get things set up and working.
Okay, so this is what we're working with. I've basically drilled a reasonable sized hole with the drill, and we've now got the router in place. So we're going to try and route this out so we can slip a piece of decking in there without any problems. It's probably going to take a while. It's quite thick wood, but we'll see how we get on. Hello, I need you back in my ear, do I? Okay, so you can see this is the result of the first pass. It's actually going through it really easily, so I'm just going to slowly make my way through the whole thing and see what the end result looks like. Okay, so this is the current situation. I've routed out just around the corners, and I've drilled out pretty much most of the rest of it in preparation with a 32 like a wood drill bit or something. So I'm just going to finish cleaning up a little bit more, and then we will kind of just router over the rest to just clean things up and hopefully have it flat so we can drop the additional pieces in. Okay, so I've nearly finished. Just going to use the router to clean up the sides, but I've done a little bit of chiseling, a bit of drilling, and I think it's now pretty much good to go. I've done the one side there. It's not going to be spot on smooth, but I'm just going to fill around the outside because the decking is not 100% level anyway, and yeah, nearly done. Okay, and that's it, the finished result. So yeah, I'm really impressed with the Ryobi Trim Router. Again, not really the proper job to demonstrate this with, but a job that needed to be done. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, when you're doing something like on the inside, like I was there, that's when you're going to do it in a clockwise fashion. And when you're doing something on the outside, so like perhaps the edging of a square, for example, that's when you want to go anti-clockwise. So yeah, I hope that helped. I was kind of hoping that it did come with more than one router bit, so I'm going to get myself some other options and yeah, see how it goes. But I'm happy with it. It's a good weight to it, works really well, and yeah, it's cordless, and like most of these things, this was charged with my solar energy, so kind of good for the environment too.
Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.